Hi, it's Kai, and today we are going to be doing a video about all of the products that I verifiably know people have purchased because of me, both in real life as well as internet friends, as well as some of you guys. And again, these are products that I have verifiable proof, and we will go over the verifiable proof that people have purchased these products because of me, whether that is because they told me they did or because I have some sort of analytic that shows me that they did. I feel like a lot of influencers and creators, of course, love to boast their influence and love to talk about them being the reason that they put people onto certain products. But I feel as though we hardly ever talk about the products that we actually know we put people onto. So these are some of mine. We are just going to get into it because we've got a lot here. It ranges from lifestyle items to beauty items, but we are just going to stop the chatter and get right into it. So in the way of the lifestyle products, one of my first loves was always laundry. I have always loved laundry products, and while technically it was my parents who first started using these scented laundry packs, there used to be these, and I think they actually still have them, but I feel as though they're not readily available everywhere. I feel as though Walmart is the only place I know of currently that sells the packs of the Snuggle. They're just like little pods of scent boosters, but I would say in my family, I was the first one to start using the scent booster scent beads, and I've used a lot of them. Again, I feel as though I'm the one who put my family onto using these as well, especially since we can't find the Snuggle pods everywhere. So these are some of the scents I have been trying out recently. They're all from Gain because Dollar General, if you haven't ever downloaded the Dollar General app, you definitely should because they run absolutely bonkers coupons, especially for laundry products. They'll often have a coupon that is like $5 to $10 off of a $25 purchase of Gain. And then on Saturdays, they also always have a coupon that is $5 off your $25 purchase, and they're stackable. I know I'm sounding like an ad. I promise this is not an ad. Dollar General is not on my radar, or I'm not on Dollar General's radar at all. Would love to be, would love some coin for me recommending, but it is something if you want to invest in laundry products and you want to get good scent boosters and specific products, they often have a lot of good deals compared to other grocery stores and big box stores and things like that. So again, some of the ones that I have tried are these. I think they're limited edition. They're the Tango ones, and I have Strawberry and Shea, which admittedly this smells almost exactly like the Lush. I believe it's the Downy Lush ones in particular. They're just maybe a little bit more fruity, and I don't feel like these last as well past the dryer, whereas these are Pina and Plumera, which is like a pina pineapple scent, rather kind of a pineapple-y florally type of scent. This one is really good and it lasts on the clothes out the dryer. I've quite enjoyed this. I hope it's one that they bring back or make permanent, and if they don't, I'm definitely going to be scouring my Dollar Trees and Dollar Generals and anywhere that I've seen scent beads before, even when they go to Aldi, because they're getting switched out, or if they are actually limited edition and they're going to be discontinued, they go to the stores that are discontinued. I will go and try to find these because I really like them. They're wonderful. And then for my bedding, I've really liked the Relax Dewdrop Dream, which when I first smelled them just out of the carton, I don't know if this is a carton, this is more of a bottle, but out of the bottle, it is a very, very aromatic, kind of in your face, almost lavendery type of scent. There's maybe a hint of sweetness, but it's mainly just kind of that classic lavender scent. However, on the clothes, once it goes through the wash and the dryer, that kind of mellows out, and I do feel as though the lavender is nice and calming. And again, I really like this on my sheets and blankets and stuff. So those are, again, the ones that I have been testing out recently. And some people have asked me for a laundry breakdown. I'm definitely going to do that. I've literally got spreadsheets going right now. So you just got to give me time to get all of the spreadsheets together and to try things and to recall things that I've tried, go back in the archives of what I've talked about, and then we will be doing a video of full laundry spectacular bonanza. I don't know if people consider clothing lifestyle, but I know people have purchased Girlfriend Collective products because of me. And the reason I know this is because Girlfriend Collective used to have a referral program where you would get, I think, a free pair of leggings or maybe a certain amount off of a pair of leggings in exchange for someone using your code. And I had done videos about these on my old YouTube channel. I had left my referral code on that, and multiple people purchased from that, so much so that I ended up having like 6 or 7 pairs of the leggings at one point, and I hate that they got rid of it. I know that Girlfriend Collective has grown, so they're at the point where they don't need that type of word of mouth, really aggressive marketing and, you know, that type of discount for such. But that was, you know, one of my favorite little, hey, this is something that I actually like. And people resonated with that and were like, I want a discount on something that she actually says she likes. At this point, I actually only have one pair of the leggings, and it's because I used to have all of the leggings in a size medium, and I'm an adult. I have at least 5 or even 6, 7 years in between when I had purchased those and the size and the body that I'm in right now. And the size medium was just a little bit too restrictive for me. So I have these ones. I think they're discontinued at this point, but they're a really nice blue color, almost like a deeper teal or deeper even aquamarine. Is that the shade? It seems like there's just like a pinch of green in it, you know what I'm saying? But I really like these. They're compressive, but they're still nice and stretchy. I've had these for years, washed them over and over, and they are in really good condition. No pilling, no rips, no nothing. I don't even see any loose threads on these. So Girlfriend Collective has been one of my favorites for athletic wear for a really long time. They make their stuff out of recycled plastic bottles, I'm pretty sure, and fishing net. But one of my favorite things from them are actually their tennis dresses. I love the tennis dresses, you know, with the shorts underneath them. I especially love these for skating. I actually want to get even more of them in more colors to wear to my skating classes because they're so easy, even not for skating classes, but just for trail skating or any type of skating. They are obviously an athletic dress, so they have enough compression up in the top. Even though I'm not packing a lot up here, I don't want them, you know, jiggling around and running away from me while I'm trying to skate or doing activity. So it does provide some compression without being too restrictive, because I don't like when things are too restrictive. I don't like when things cut me off here. I actually really don't like halter top items because they kind of feel restrictive around here. It starts to give me a headache and makes me feel almost like claustrophobic even. So these provide a good amount of compression without being too much tension, I guess, up here on my traps. But they're also really cute. They've got some nice colors, and the shorts underneath actually have a little pocket in them, and it's a pocket that expands a little bit, so I'm able to put my phone or my keys in here, my, what do you call it, my pepper spray, because I often take that, especially if I'm skating on a trail or on the belt line. So it just has that pocket for me to take those things instead of having to take a bag with me. But I also just like wearing these as a more casual type of outfit when I'm going out with friends, again, going along the belt line and I know it's going to be hot. It's so easy to put this on with a pair of nice little sandals and feel casual, comfy, but still put together. So I love Girlfriend Collective stuff. I've been purchasing it for years and honestly will continue purchasing their stuff as long as their ethics and they come out with things that I still enjoy and their stuff fits. They have a really wide range of sizes as well. I think they go up to like a 4X 3X maybe. So I like that they're inclusive. Again, it makes it easier to be a brand to get behind. Okie dokie, and moving into the beauty products, this one I know I influenced the purchase of, but it ended up backfiring or not working. Well, technically it didn't backfire on me because I ended up with another version of a fragrance that I enjoy, but it backfired because of course I don't want to recommend things, or I don't want someone to buy something because of me and then they not like it. But with fragrance is so particular. Everyone perceives fragrance differently. All of our noses are different. So one note or one fragrance that someone loves, there's always going to be someone who absolutely hates it. I feel like it's even less so consistent as far as being able to evaluate than beauty products or makeup products, because with certain products you just have benchmark items like, okay, does this product break apart when I apply other products on top of it? Does it have a really fussy formula? Is it slipping and sliding all over my face and leaving streaks? Is this eyeshadow creasing even though it's been on my eye for 30 seconds? I feel as though there are just very standard benchmarks for those things. Whereas with fragrance, even with longevity or projection, it's so personal. Some people want something that is going to be beast mode, it's going to last all day, and everyone's going to smell you from 3 blocks down the road. Other people want something that is really cozy, sticks close to them. They might be in office settings or meetings a lot and need something that's not going to be too perceptible to other people. So again, fragrance is something that when I recommend something and someone comes back and says they don't like it, as much as I wish everyone loved my recommendations, I just know that that's impossible. So anyway, the Breeing Frenchie Citrus Amber scent in particular, I really enjoy this scent. I first purchased the perfume oil because I went through a perfume oil phase, and I do still really like it. Perfume oils, I find them to be really good for layering, and this is just a really nice zesty but also a little bit herbaceous, ambery, kind of clean scent. But I know for a lot of people, citrus scents and even citrus ambery scents, things like that, can pull a little bit more like bathroom cleaner. I feel like that's the common, I guess, critique of citrus perfumes in particular, that they smell as though they're an air freshener or a bathroom cleaner. I don't necessarily get that from them, but again, I understand that everyone's nose is different. So I had purchased this and talked about it so highly, and I remember going over to my sister's apartment wearing this, and she asked me what I was wearing, and I told her it was this in particular, and she went out and bought the body mist. She took it home, sprayed it on herself, wore it, and she said she could not stand it on herself, so she let me have it. So again, it worked out for me because now I have the matching duo, and I did want to eventually pick up the body mist of this to be able to pair them together, because I like being able to layer and pair and ritualize my process of self-care, and perfume is one of the ways that I do that. So it was a plus for me, but a minus on her because she bought something that she didn't end up enjoying. I definitely recommend going to your local, you know what store. It is in Target. I believe Breeing Frenchie is only available at Target right now. So it's one where, while I can't necessarily fully recommend you go out and get it and patronize Target in particular, because that doesn't necessarily align with my personal belief system at this point, I will say that if you wanted to go into Target and sniff it, or you had a gift card from, you know, a work raffle or a birthday party or something like that, someone who didn't know that you don't patronize there, and you wanted to just use it, because remember, gift cards are free money to the company if you don't end up using them. So if that's the case, you can definitely go sniff it. You might even go in and sniff it and then be able to find it on Mercari and purchase it that way. There's other ways you can get around a product only being available in a specific store, especially here in 2025. So again, if you're interested in them, them. Those are some of the ways that you can get your nose on them and smell them, but you might not like it if you're not into citrus fragrances. If you really like citrus fragrances and you like all types of citrus fragrances, that's pretty much a surefire love for you. Other fragrances I know that I've influenced people to purchase, and in particular a discovery set I know I influence people to purchase, is the 5 Scents Discovery Set. And the reason I know people purchase this because of me is because I had the link for my LTK, which is what is in my description box. I'm very transparent about the fact that most of the links are the LTK affiliate links, but I still try to link everything even if I can't find an affiliate link for it, or there's not one available, or I don't make the commission off of it, because it doesn't make sense for me to not do that. Anyways, I know people get really like weird around links, and understandably so. There are a lot of creators who are not honest about products and are looking to just make a quick buck, but I am a person who likes to give my opinion on a product. I even link products that I don't like, because I'm just like, what you might like in a product is something that I might dislike in a product, and you still might want to buy it, and you still might want to support me in that way. Anyway, I don't want to make this into a whole thing. I could literally do a whole separate video about my thoughts on influencer ambassador programs and affiliate codes and stuff like that, but that's not what this video is about. The reason that I know people purchase this because of me is that I had a few people purchase this during, I think, the Sephora sale earlier this year, or maybe at the tail end of last year. I think it was at the beginning of this year though. And I was able to see that people purchased this, using my link. And I had talked about it in a video. I think it was the like rating my Sephora purchases video. And I said how much I liked the scents in here. Yeah, I know people, you guys actually, not just people. I know you guys have purchased this, or some of you guys have purchased this. I hope you ended up enjoying the scent. If you were one of the people who purchased this and you're open to leaving a comment, please let me know what your favorite scent was out of all of them, or even what your least favorite was, what your general thoughts are. I would love to, again, hear what you think about the products that I am recommending, because that is my favorite thing about creating on any platform about my interest, is just being able to exchange information with people and be able to talk about one of my interests when I don't have a lot of people in my in real life close circles who are as interested in these topics as I am. By the way, if you ever do purchase anything through any of my affiliate links, I really do appreciate that. That helps, me pay bills. That helps me feed my cats. It is very much so appreciated, no matter how big or small. Again, I just really appreciate that anyone would want to support me in any way. So again, if you do, that is very much so. Much love to you. You're awesome. Other scents that I know people have purchased because of me are the In Dreams and Fairy Tales collection from Source. They actually sent me these because this is one of their, I think it was their spring collection for this year. And I was super excited that they wanted to send these to me. And I actually really ended up loving pretty much the entire collection. All of them are bangers. Of course, I have favorites and least favorites. I think I've talked about that over on the short form app already. But in my video talking about these, there were multiple people who were like, okay, I'm going and ordering samples. So if they actually followed through on their word, and I'm pretty sure they did, because I've been seeing a lot of Source hauls and people talking about this collection in particular, then again, people came to my video, saw my video, and saw me talk about them, and were just like, hey, I think that's something that I might enjoy. I'm gonna try them out. My two favorites from the collection in particular are In Dreams and Fairy Tales Blueberry. This is a kind of jammy blueberry. It has that meringue vanilla underneath everything, but the blueberry on top is just really like jammy, sweet. It kind of reminds me of the plum note in in Byredo Bibliotech, if you've ever tried that. And this fragrance in general reminds me of Byredo Bibliotech, but without the leathery notes. So if you want something that has a little bit less of that mysterious dark leather aspect to it, then this might be a good one to try in place of that. And then I also love the strawberry rose water version of this because in addition to the vanilla meringue that underlies the entire line of these fragrances, the strawberry rose water, which I don't necessarily smell a lot of rose from it, but I do smell a very light, kind of more watery strawberry. It reminds me so much of the foam that the dentist gave you, the strawberry flavor. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The like fluoride that they do at the end and they put it in the little mouth guard and it's foam and you clamp down and you have to keep it on your teeth. It reminds me of that, and that used to be my favorite part of going to the dentist. I stopped like going to the dentist when I started getting the mint flavor. Why they won't allow some of the adults to still get this strawberry and grape and all of the cool flavors, I don't know, but the dentists need to get it together. But it reminds me so much of that to the point that it makes my gums almost ache to go to the dentist, which is such a weird sensation. Trust me, I know it's a weird thing to say out loud, but that's how it makes me feel. So again, I love Source. They are one of my favorite indie perfume brands, and a lot of their stuff, you're definitely going to find something from them that you like. And they also offer samples, like they offer oil samples, spray samples, dabber sample, like, you know, you can sample pretty much any of their products, so you don't have to commit to a full bottle. But I promise you, you're going to find a sample or multiple that you want to commit to a full bottle of. Okie dokie. And the end of the fragrances that I've influenced people to purchase is less of a specific fragrance and more so a fragrance brand, or honestly fragrance service. It is Scentbird, and while I don't purchase from Scentbird anymore because I don't believe that the CEO's morals align with mine exactly, I purchased Scentbird. I had an account, I believe, from 2016 up until last year, like the middle of last year, I want to say. So I have a lot of Scentbird, and I have to admit, I absolutely love the idea of it. I love that you get a new fragrance every single month. I like that you can skip months, skip multiple months. They definitely, you know, built onto it the longer that I was subscribed to it. I do hate the new packaging. I wish they would go back to their old packaging, even if I don't purchase it anymore. I feel like the new packaging is a little bit cheaper feeling. However, you can try a lot of interesting fragrances, both designer and niche fragrances, for a really affordable price point, even though some of them have like the prestige up pricing at this point and not everything is just at the base level. And I don't even know how much it is per month anymore. I haven't really kept up with them, but it is something that, again, aside from the morals of the CEO, I recommend a service like this if you're wanting to try a lot of fragrances and you don't really know what you like, or you like a little bit of everything, you want to try a little bit of everything, and you're just into discovering new things. Some of the ones I've been able to try are Parfums de Marly, Delina La Rose. I actually have tried Delina, Delina La Rose, and Delina Exclusive through Scentbird, and La Rose I think is probably my favorite of all of them. I also have Boho Boko Wet Cherry Liqueur, which is a wonderful cherry fragrance. It is one of my favorites. Cherry isn't one of my favorite fragrance notes, but that is a good cherry that smells different from others, even though it does fall within that cherry alcoholic drink type, but it's not like cherry and rum or cherry and whiskey. It smells more like cherry wine. Anyway, House of Beau Rosario is another one that I really love. This is like a rose, slightly woody, almost champagne-y type of fragrance. It is just light and airy, and it makes me feel like a pretty little forest Princess. And then what's in here? I have DS and Durga Debaser, which I'm pretty sure is, yeah, this is a coconutty fig. Admittedly, I have not worn this one since last summer because the last time I wore it was on a vacation with the person I was seeing last summer, and I really liked them and I took breaking off things with them really difficultly. So it's one of those that kind of reminds me of the summer, and I've honestly stayed away from quite a few of my fragrances that remind me of last summer because it was just so beautiful, and it feels like, you know, capturing that in a literal bottle, but it is one that I really enjoyed. It has such a strong association to that weekend because I was wearing it along with the other ones that I had. I think I had bought the what is that, St. Bart's Mist with Me Blocky in every season, and I want to say maybe one of the by Rosie Jane Missy. So while I enjoy all of those fragrances, they're all stellar. It actually has been and I'm not sure, I think I've maybe worn each of them like once this summer, maybe, because they just so much smell like that experience, and it is just one that I still look back on it and find it bittersweet because I did want that to work out. Then we have body care, and in addition to the fact that multiple videos I've made about these have gone very viral, so I'm sure someone has purchased these because of those viral videos, I recently found out that my sisters, and I knew that they had like tried them and liked them and stuff, but I didn't know that they knew as much about EOS as I thought that they did. I had gone because if you've watched some of my recent Chatty Get Ready With Me's, I've talked about the issues that I had with my apartment, and at one point it was so uncomfortable showering in my bathroom that I had to drive to one of my sister's apartments to shower in their, you know, bathroom that was not traumatizing. In that, I was able to see some of their products that they have in their bathroom, they have in their showers, and I saw my sister. I actually think both of my sisters have the EOS Vanilla Cashmere lotion, or maybe they don't have both Vanilla Cashmere, but I'm pretty sure it's Vanilla Cashmere that both of them have actually. So they have the lotion. We know this, we love this. It's like a vanilla cake batter scent, very rich, very dense. Again, a great scent. Not my favorite EOS scent. I actually, on the short form app, not to necessarily plug, but kind of shameless plug, I did rank all of the EOS lotions that I've tried, or all of the scents that I've tried, so I do have that. It's too long to put on YouTube Shorts, unfortunately, and I don't know how I feel about putting my longer short form videos that are vertical on my page as if it is one of these types of videos. It kind of feels a little, I don't know about that, you know what I'm saying? But if you guys would be okay with that, I can definitely transfer some of those over here if they, you know, transfer kind of well. But anyway, I did not know, especially because these are a little bit newer, and I did tell my sister, like, whenever EOS tells me that they're sending me something, I will tell myself, like, the minute I'm allowed to tell my sisters, I tell them, I'm like, EOS contacted me about sending me this. They're coming out with new this. They knew about EOS having body washes, but I didn't know that they actually purchased them, you know, once they came out. So I want to say that they have the Vanilla Cashmere, or one of them has the Vanilla Cashmere. I don't think my other sister, my twin sister in particular, has this, the body wash. I'm pretty sure she only has the lotion. But again, going in their showers, I was able to see, you know, oh, you actually are taking advice from me. Like, I didn't know you were really watching my videos like that. Just kidding. My family and sisters especially are super supportive of my channel and of me doing social media. Even like my little cousin, if she's watching this, I love you. But also if she's watching this, I'm kind of thinking back to, have I cursed in this video? And that's like the hard part, because it's like they want to be supportive of me, but also sometimes I'm like, I'm talking about things that maybe you don't want to know about me in particular. But anyway, speaking of my twin sister, this isn't the actual product that she used because of me, but in general, First Aid Beauty, and specifically the product, what is it, the Pure Skin Cleanser. Years and years ago, I had an allergic reaction to rose hip in a product, and ever since then, I've been having allergic reactions to products that have rose in it. So I had that allergic reaction, and it caused me to just have really bad dermatitis on my face. And I did research into what is basically the most bland, stripped back line of skincare there is. And I got First Aid Beauty. They were like, it's effective products, but it's not going to irritate. It's supposed to be for sensitive skin specifically. And I tried the Pure Skin Cleanser as well as the Ultra Repair Cream, and those got my skin together. They were the products that for the rest of time, whenever I accidentally got a product that gave me dermatitis, and I haven't in years, knock on wood, but I have not had dermatitis on my face in years, but whenever I did, that was the product I would default back to. And probably to this day, even though there's some other things that I've tried and love, I could see myself in a very dire circumstance falling back onto those again. So once I started using that, my twin sister, who has had issues with acne growing up, but also with having some sensitive skin too, with things breaking her out, especially skincare that has a lot of fragrance and extra stuff going on, she ended up trying First Aid Beauty, and I'm pretty sure it's the only cleanser and like the only stuff that she uses on her skin. I feel like it's First Aid Beauty and Ulla Henriksen, and that's pretty much it for her facial skin. So it makes me really happy to know that she's found products and her skin is thriving. She doesn't really deal with acne that much anymore unless she's been eating foods that typically inflame her skin a little bit more. And that just makes me really happy because I know that was something that growing up a lot of people deal with, and she dealt with it, and kind of the social implication of it, and just feeling uncomfortable in your own skin. So I'm really grateful that she has been able to find something that to this day worked so well for her. This next one I admittedly thought was the biggest gimmick until I had a friend who ended up getting one of these for me for my birthday, and I fell in love with it. Might it still be the biggest gimmick on the earth? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Might it be overpriced? Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I absolutely love them. I love the experience of them. I've continued purchasing that. Well, actually, I was gifted another one, and that's another thing. They actually last a little bit longer than I thought that they would. Granted, I've worked from home even before I had left my corporate job, so I wasn't necessarily going out and using it as much. I wasn't going to clubs and bars and a lot of places, sometimes restaurants where I would use it, but I'm just saying I wasn't necessarily going out and about a lot to be able to use it as much. But I've only used, like in the last 2 years, 2 of them up. So honestly, again, about one per year. And the only reason I've been using them up a little bit faster more recently is because I've been doing dog walking. So I use it after, which as you can see, it's the Touchland hand sanitizers, but I use them after I like pick up dog poop or in between appointments if I'm not able to wash my hands anywhere or there's not soap or, you know, whatever it is. But I absolutely love the Touchland hand sanitizers. My most recent one, I actually emptied this, so this will be in next month's empties video, but this is the rose water scented one, which admittedly is a little bit of a more fragrant, like these are really fragrant hand sanitizers, and the first one that I had was the aloe scent, and I feel like just by the nature of the scent that one was a little bit softer and a little bit less in your face. The rose water scent is very, very apparent on this, so if you don't like your hand sanitizers to be scented, then you might want to go for the unscented one or even the aloe one, just like some of the lighter scents. And I eventually want to try out pretty much every scent and do a whole breakdown of them all. So let me know which ones you would like to hear about the most. If there are any limited edition ones that should be on my radar, like these are kind of my Labubu's, except I only buy one of them at a time. Kai here because I definitely forgot to tell y'all who buys the Touchland hand sanitizers. It's my older sister. She buys them now. Okie dokie, and we are finally into the makeup products, and all three of them are actually products that I know people who aren't family members have purchased. The first one is the LYS Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush in the shade Empower, and admittedly, I don't know if the person who purchased this necessarily purchased this shade because it was one that came through my link with LYS, which I will again leave that below if you're interested in using that to purchase from LYS's website. I think it's like a 10% discount, either 5 or 10%. I want to say it's 10%. I can't quite remember what the percentage is. I'll put it somewhere on the screen, but I do have that, and I had put that in a video where I was talking about this and someone had used it. Like, I got the notification that someone had made a purchase, and again, I don't technically know if they purchased this product in particular, but I could assume that they probably purchased a blush because this is the only product from LYS I've gotten to try out thus far. I really love it and have so many more products on my wish list from them, but I'm just kind of in my decluttering, getting rid of the makeup that I don't like or that's mid to me or that is too old. Like, I'm just more focused on using what I have versus buying new products. But this is definitely a brand that I want to purchase a lot more from once I start finishing things in my collection and am in a place where I want to replace certain items or colors, or you know what I'm saying. So once again, making the assumption that someone purchased this because they saw me talk about it and was like, oh, I want to try that out. But it's also possible that they purchased another product on the website. But again, if you were the person who purchased that, really appreciate you. The next one is what I call probably my favorite eyeshadow of all time. I know it's the one that if I did not have any other eyeshadows and could not have any other eyeshadows forever and ever except this one palette, for whatever reason, this is the palette that I would choose because I feel like it is versatile enough for my purposes to encapsulate what I would want to do or need to do with makeup if I was very, very limited with it. It's the Nabla Cosmetics Side by Side palette, and I again talked about this so much on my old YouTube channel and when I was a little bit more active with beauty content specifically on my Instagram. And one of my Instagram friends had come in my DMs and was like, I ended up purchasing the Side by Side palette because you talked about it, and it is one of my most used palettes. I think they actually did a post, and I don't think they're as active on, you know, beauty Instagram anymore either. But I want to say at the time they had done a post and they showed the dent in one of their shades and that they were almost done with some of the shades in their palette, and they were like shouting me out that I was the reason they purchased that palette. And I was like, that was the first time I think someone had really told me that they purchased a product from me or because of me and because I talked about it and used it and recommended it so much. And it just, again, it makes me happy to know that I am recommending products that I actually stand by, and stand by so much so that other people are trying them and also are just like, yeah, they are as good as you say. This, I would say, is the perfect neutral palette. You don't need any other neutral eyeshadow palette except this one, in my opinion. You have warm tones, you've got cool tones, you've got the deep matte black, you've got the shimmery shades, matte shades, you've got kind of those more pearly type of top shades, we've got the gold, we've got the bronzes, we've got the taupes, we've got the champagnes, we've got the pinky colors. Again, this is a palette that I feel like has every single neutral color that you could need. You will be able to make pretty much every type of neutral look with this palette, and I don't think I've ever made a look with this palette that I ended up disliking. If anything, I want to say that there are looks and colors where I've been like, there's just no way I'm gonna like that, you know, especially this bottom row, these more cool tone colors. I am a person who, or used to be a person I should say, who was like, I'm not a cool tone person girly at all, and I'm pretty sure this is the palette in particular that changed me because I used the bottom shades and I was like, maybe cool tones can be for darker skin. And I, again, have loved doing some cool toned looks. Yeah, I feel like I even like neutral to cool toned looks more than super warm tone or red toned or orangey toned looks at this point. So again, this is, if there is any product that I want you guys to go out and purchase because of me, because you need it, of course. If you have a whole bunch of other neutral palettes, you probably have shades similar to this somewhere. But if you are just starting out with eyeshadow, you don't have a lot of palettes, and you want a palette that is quality and has the colors that are going to sustain you, this is it. This is her. This last one is a product that I actually recommended to one of my friends, in real life friends, in person. We had gone out to lunch, and then after lunch we'd gone, this is pre-Target, like it was literally within the first few weeks of the year before you know who was in office and before Target was doing their whole, oh, no more DEI type of thing. But we were going to brunch. We went to Target afterward, and one of my friends was asking about foundations because she said that she just needed something new. She wasn't loving what she was currently using, and she wanted something that was good coverage but still pretty skin-like and didn't look really cakey, because she felt like her previous foundation was a little bit more on the dry and cakey side. And I don't know if maybe her skin was becoming a little bit drier. I feel like a lot of us, as we get older, our skin will go from being oily, if we had more oily skin, to being drier just naturally. So I don't know if that was the case, but I remember her having a certain criteria, and I was like, you know what? I think this foundation fits the criteria that you're looking for. And she used it. She bought it. She used it. We shade matched her in store, and she said that I did a good job shade matching. So, you know, Sephora, Ulta, call me for a job if you need someone to shade match, because apparently I can do it pretty well even without a tester. But she ended up taking it home. She said that she absolutely loved the way that it looks, and I'm pretty sure it's become her, just her foundation. Again, my friends are into makeup and beauty, but I feel as though they're more so casual, you know, viewers and casual hobbyists of it, versus me being like into it and all of the new launches and wanting to try everything, you know. So they have more of a makeup bag versus a makeup collection. So this, I'm pretty sure, became a standard in her makeup bag. It's the CoverGirl Clean Invisible Foundation, the new reprised version that they came out with. I have the shade Deep Golden in particular, which, do not pay attention to the shade names with CoverGirl products at this point, because this says Deep Golden as the shade name, and then you look at the back and it says Deep Golden cool/neutral undertone. And I like this because it, for my deeper skin complexion, which I need to break this out now that I'm deep enough to wear it, but for my deeper complexion, I have a little bit less of those warm golden tones and a little bit more of, I feel like, a neutral, even leaning red tone sometimes. So I prefer something that has a little bit more of a neutral undertone to it, and this works perfectly for that. But it's also just a really nice formula that isn't too matte, it isn't flat on the skin, it has like a healthy skin-like finish to it. Again, it's just one that looks really pretty. My friend is also a teacher, and I'm pretty sure she's doing the younger grades, like maybe first or second grade. So she has recess, she's going outside, they're a little bit more active, she's a little bit more hands-on with them. And the fact that she says she likes this, she hasn't really complained, at least from what she's told me, that this breaks up or doesn't last throughout the day or anything like that. I think that is a good sign. So again, I think she really ended up enjoying this, and that it's become, you know, her kind of everyday foundation. But anyway, I know that was a monster of a video, but those were the products that I can think of in real life, in the situations that I can definitively think back on and say this person or these people or these analytics showed I I was the reason someone purchased this product or purchased a product from a certain brand. And I hope you guys enjoy hearing about some of my favorite products, some of my standby products from throughout the years, and the products that I'm actually recommending both online and in real life. I appreciate you for sticking around with me through this really long video. If you got something to eat or drink throughout, let me know. And if I've ever influenced you to purchase something, no matter whether it's a snack or a laundry product or a beauty product, please let me know. I would love to know if I have encouraged anyone to buy something and whether they like that product or not. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy wherever you are when you're watching this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.